my wonderful Capricorns. Thank you for clicking on this video. Today I'm going to be doing a very late reading for you guys for the second half of January. And because this is so late, I'm also going to read for the first week into February. So please excuse me for that. Life unfortunately gets in the way. I very much apologize. So for today's reading, I'm going to be pulling not a set amount of tarot cards, just however many I feel like pulling. Oh my goodness, my cat is playing with the toys, so I apologize if you hear any background noise. And I'm also going to be pulling 2 Monology Oracle cards, as well as a Romance Angel Oracle card. Let me just go ahead and get shuffling here while I'm rambling. I'm going to be reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I typically don't include Venus in my child. My cat is like very hype right now for some reason. Anyway, as I was saying, I typically don't include Venus in my readings. However, because I felt drawn to pull a Romance Angel card for this like specific set of readings that I'm doing, I wanted to make sure that people checked out their Venus sign, just so they can get, you know, the fullest possible reading that they can. I will note that this doesn't exclusively mean that if, you know, your Venus is in Capricorn, it's going to resonate with you. You could watch the reading for your sun sign, and the oracle card reading for you, or the Romance Angel Oracle card reading for your sun sign resonates with you like that. So it doesn't specifically have to be your Venus, but it very well could be. Alright, I'm going to give this one more shuffle. And then we'll be ready to cut the deck and begin. Also, I apologize, my throat and mouth have just been very dry lately. I think I'm actually coming down with something because my throat is not feeling the hottest, but that is totally okay. But if I have to stop and take a drink of tea or anything like that, that's why I have this. So, I mean, I typically do have tea on my desk because, like, tea is like my fave thing. But that's why I have this giant mug. Okay, enough rambling from me. Let's see what tarot has for you, my wonderful cats, for the time period. Oh my goodness. Interesting card to get. Child. My cat is like freaking out right now. I apologize. It's like shaking the camera and stuff. You'll have to excuse that, although my cat being very active and appearing is good luck. So you have that going for you. So it's interesting. You have the Sun of Cups as your first card. So to me, this seems as you kind of, I definitely feel this is you. I feel like this is definitely in regards to you and not anyone else. But it's interesting because I get this kind of like, hi. I feel like you know, you kind of have this like wishful childlike thinking about things, and that's not necessarily the way to go. I feel like you definitely are gonna want to seek advice, because I just don't feel like you have the experience in order for you to, you know, really make the call onto whatever situation this is in regards to. So let me pull a few more cards to see what oh, here we go. Come on here. Is it love, guys? Are you having a little, like some, you know, are you in a new relationship, or, and I mean this not specifically in terms of romance. I feel for somebody who it definitely is in regards to romantic partners, but I also feel like this is just kind of love in general, as in like friendship love, not getting so much as family. It's mainly more either romantic partners or friendships. I feel like you either just started a new relationship, or there's some turmoil in the one that you currently are already in, and you're trying to work it out yourself, but you just don't really have the experience in order to do that yet. What I'm also seeing, now that this card pulled out, is that you might be coming into, or have already come into, a new relationship with someone who is like the Sun of Cups, who is that kind of, I don't want to say immature as in like they're acting immature, but they just don't have a lot of life experience. They may be a new soul. So it could go vice versa as to how I just like explained it. So either you are the Sun of Cups, or this union with someone is representative of the Sun of Cups, if that makes any sense. I feel like I explained that kind of weird, but hopefully you understand. Well, let's see what else we got for you. Interesting. Got the Devil card, and it just flew out there. So what I'm seeing is that maybe this relationship, well, I don't want to say that this relationship is like bad or anything like that. It's not like, you know, you need to not be like friends or in this relationship, but you really need to evaluate how the core foundation of it is. Because I personally, in my personal experience, I've always found that the core, the foundation, needs to be very strong and very pure and very positive. That is maybe, like for example, I had a friend in high school who initially did not like this other person at all. Like had very, like just was like, no, I don't really like them. I don't like, you know, anyway. But then they eventually ended up becoming friends, but that friendship really didn't last that long because of that negative base. Now, you can tear down that base. You can be like, release that and be like, I had the wrong idea about this person. You know, it was not good of me. It was not within clear conscience, you know, stuff like that. You can release that base and that fundamental level in order to build on top of it. And that's what I think this Devil card is saying. Is it's saying that maybe this union between you two isn't as pure and great as it should be, or you need to strengthen that foundation before you really can move on with that person. So let us see what else we got. Also, this is a complete side note, but like the little goat that Kim Kranz, the artist of this deck, drew is just so cute. Like, I don't know why I felt the need to point that out, but it's just so freaking cute. Ugh. I'll show you guys again. Just look how cute this little goat is. It's so cute. I'm like, how could you be devious? How could you be the devil? You're just so adorable. That's like just me rambling on, but okay, interesting. So we have two Pentacle cards here. So we have the Eight of Pentacles and then the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, so what I'm seeing here is that this is structure. Okay, with the Eight of Pentacles, I'm definitely seeing the need for structure, the need for consistency. Maybe this relationship that you've had or have or will be coming into is just very kind of like, I don't want to say hot and cold, because it's not that like, you know, they're like, oh yeah, let's meet up, and then they like, you know, are just completely ignoring you the next day. It's not that. There's like a consistent kind of attitude towards each other. However, I feel like timing, as in like, you know, hey, let's go eat. It's like, oh, this doesn't work for me. Okay, well, what about this day? It's like, oh, I can't do that day. You know what I mean? It's just like that timing issue. There's not a lot of structure. It's very random. It's very unplanned is what I'm feeling with this. And I feel with the Three of Pentacles, this is saying like, look, you need the structure. You need this consistency. You need to really build that foundation upon that. Because especially if this is a romantic partner, you really don't, I feel like with like friends, it's a bit more excusable, but with romantic partners, it's like you really, really need that consistency. And if it's a friend that is a very like deep connected friend, like a lifelong friend, you do need that consistency. Because you know how you have like temporary friends in like middle school or high school, it's like that's not really necessary, but I feel like if you know, are going to have like really great and grand friends, you really need that like structured kind of dynamic there. And this is what these cards are talking about. I kind of want to see how you can go about doing that though, because I'm not really getting any vibe on vibe how to do that, so let's see. Alright, so you got the I can't count, I swear. The Seven of Swords and the High Priestess. This is very interesting to me because I definitely was feeling that you need to take more of like an action type, you know, way of doing things. But what I'm seeing here is you really shouldn't do that. Like kind of be like, okay, I'm gonna let them get their life straightened out. Well, I'm gonna go work on myself. And when that happens and we both kind of come to that like, you know, all right, got life figured out. Now I have like, you know, an orderly, you know, I got my time management skills done. Everything's in order. Now I can, you know, start making more consistent plans with people. So that's what I feel like you need to do, is don't worry too much about what they're doing, kind of worry about yourself. And through that, you're going to be able to, like, you know, come to, oh, what's that word? Everything's just going to kind of figure itself out, if that makes sense. And also, this is with the High Priestess, I feel like this is like some kind of divine something. I don't know if this relationship in particular is divine, or if it's like the lessons that you'll learn through this relationship, but something in this dynamic is like the universe planned it to be in the way that it is. So, all right. I feel like this is a good general thing. I don't feel like this is specifically, because I think it was Libra, but don't quote me on that. It was very like, okay, this is January and this is February, but with you, the time-wise, it's just kind of, there is no, I'm not seeing a distinct, you know, time or anything. I'm gonna pull one more card, because I feel like this is really the meat of the message, but I feel like there is another card in here that's trying to make its way out. Oh, and there we go. If I could grab it, that'd be great. All right. Again, this is the Son of Wands. I feel like this is more so just clarifying what I said earlier about really keeping to yourself and really looking inward. It's interesting because you have the Son of Wands and the Son of Cups, so maybe both of you guys, because you're either the Son of Cups and they're the Son of Wands, or you're either the Son of Wands or they're the Son of Cups. It's one or the other. And so I feel like with the Son of Wands, it's just, again, kind of confirming, you know, go inward on yourself, look inward, which I feel has been a very common message in 2019 for some reason, like in general, not specifically in regards to like relationships, but just, you know, make sure you look inward at yourself. This is more so, I don't want to say look inward, but it's more so like focus on yourself. Be like, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to do what I need to do. You can make plans with other people, yada, yada, yada. So that's just kind of confirming what I said with that card. And yeah, that is the, just make sure no other messages want to come through. No, you guys are good. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to move on to the Moonology Oracle cards. And I can't remember if I said this at the beginning or not. I can't remember if I mentioned this before, but I'm going to mention it again just because I think it's important, and I apologize if you have to hear this twice. But basically, the way that I read cards, I'm going to do an entire explanation for this, because I feel like it's very important, because I feel like you really need to resonate and connect with a tarot reader. And in order to do that, I feel like knowing their process of reading cards and how they read cards and like all, like how they prepare to read cards and all that stuff is very essential to figure out who you resonate with. And I highly recommend that you do that. If you're looking for a tarot reader, make sure you look into them. Don't be afraid to send them like an email and ask them questions about that too. As a tarot reader myself, it's like, I honestly find that very, like, I feel warm and fuzzy because I'm like, they're really trying to find someone that they resonate with. So, I don't know. Anyway, I'm rambling. But basically what I'm doing is I'm going to create a whole video explaining how, like, my entire process and how I read cards. But I basically read cards intuitively in combination with the guidebook, rulebook, textbook of the typical readings of the cards, because I very much value the tradition of tarot reading, but I also very much, I feel like I'd be doing you guys an injustice if I just were ignoring the messages that I get, because I feel like I personally am not going to be delivering you the most accurate reading that I possibly can if I just simply read by the textbook. So that's why I kind of do a combination of both, to honor the tradition and the history of it, as well as make sure that you guys have, you know, you guys get the messages that come through. Okay, enough of me rambling. Let's see if I can get some Moonology cards for you guys. Well, that's not, I didn't want that many. I'm gonna take the first one though, but those are like way too many. Let's see if I can get another one, please. at least one more. But if like another one or two, this one wants to come out. Okay, perfect. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Okay, so I feel like these are two separate messages. So the first card you have is the full moon in Leo, which is don't let pride get in your way. Very interesting. I feel like this is especially in regards to this relationship. I feel like the fact that this person may not be able to, you know, make the time for you, you might be a little bit like, okay, like kind of a little bit salty about that. Don't be understanding. Be understanding that, look, they have their own life, they have their own things going on, they got their own stuff to worry about. I'm just gonna let it happen. I'm just gonna let it do its thing. And then again, the divine is gonna, you know, come down and make whatever needs to happen happen. So trust in that. And then the next card you got is your hard work is paying off, which is the new moon in Capricorn. Now this is interesting to me because I feel like this is more so, instead of saying the hard work you're putting in now is paying off, I think specifically for you in this reading, it's talking about the hard work that you will put in will pay off. So it's saying that you need to put in the hard work. I think especially in regards to focusing on yourself in order to make this relationship fully work and have a fully great, you know, foundation and base to work up upon. Let's see, any other messages want to come through? No, you guys are good. All right, so now on to my Romance Angel Oracle card readings. Again, I make this disclaimer all the time just because I feel like it's very important, is that when I read these Oracle cards, I read Oracle, I swear. I'm gonna need to go get like some throat coat things, something, because it's like my right tonsil. Just my right tonsil. I don't understand. But anyway, I basically read these as general love. So that's not specific to romantic partners, however, it very well could be. But this also could be friends, family, coworkers, your pet, any kind of dynamic where love is involved. Any kind of love, divine love, anything like that. So, and I will point that out. So I will point out kind of if I feel like it's a romantic thing or not. It's interesting because I feel for you that there's a good portion of you that this, you know, because the Two of Cups is typically like a lover's card. It's like, it's a soulmate card. But I don't feel like all of you are going to be in this dynamic of a soulmate or even a romantic partner. So I'm interested to see. I honestly might pull two. I might pull two, depending on what card comes out first. Romance Angels cards, because there is definitely two groups here that I'm working with, and one of you guys, it's a romantic thing, and then the other group is it's just a friend or a coworker. I'm not feeling so much in the family, but let's see what comes out here, and then I'll decide depending on what the first card comes out. What the first card that comes out, whether I will pull two cards or if the message applies to both of you guys. Okay, well this one, and it fell, great. This one does apply to both of you, so that's great. And it totally matches up too. I love when this happens. Okay, so you have finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. This is what I'm saying about focusing on yourself. And now, because of this card, it's specifically focusing on your finances and career. Gear your money towards that. That may have been why this disconnect has been happening, because of, you know, school, your work, or kind of money issues. You're trying to get more money in. Maybe you need more money. Maybe you want to take them out on a nice, fancy dinner date, whether that's romantic or just platonic. Me and one of my best friends go out on dates all the time. Not like, you know, a romantic date, but just like, you know, communion is a very good way of, you know, I think bonding relationships. So anyway, but that's a tangent. But yeah, so basically that's kind of, you know, focusing on yourself, you know, work on that, and then eventually this will work itself out, is what I'm really getting from that. Let's see if there are any other messages. Nope, you guys are good. That's all I got for you. All right, I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. You can let me know in the comments or hitting me up by email. Is that the right way? Yeah, it is. And I also have all of my social media links in the description below, along with my email if you want to email me any questions, and also a link to my Etsy shop where you can purchase a personal and private reading from me if you feel inclined. You can also like, comment, or subscribe if you feel drawn to. And I think that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video, and I will see you in the next one.